What's up, guys? So clearly I fell way behind on these YouTube videos, so rather than make a video for each week that I missed, I'll just put a bunch of clips together, put up one video, and be caught up with everything. So right now what you're looking at is 197.5 for fours on pause squats. This was week 4 of my first hypertrophy block, and I was super happy with how these were moving. Just the side angle, I'm relatively upright with these. I'm not getting too pitch forward even as they got harder. This is 227.5 for fours on pause deadlifts. I was super happy with how these were moving too. Pause deadlifts have been going super well. I was probably working off a pretty conservative training max. I think I was working off a training max 275. So it makes sense. These were all moving really well, but I was still super happy with them. This is from my testing week, or my 5th week deload. I would test an AMRAP at a relatively high percentage to get an idea of how much I've progressed. And that sounds kind of counterproductive to a deload, but it would be pretty much the only hard set of the day, and everything else would be significantly reduced in volume and intensity. So it does not take away from the fact that the week is still a deload. So this was 80% for an AMRAP on my incline spoto pressing. I ended up getting 115 for 10, which is decent for 80%. Definitely means that it's not 80% anymore, closer to probably around 75%. So going forward, that's reflected in my training max. I think I bumped it up from 145 to like 155. This is 200 for fours on pause squats. This is from week 2 of my next hypertrophy block. My testing week, or my testing/deload week on pause squats didn't go so well because I just started a new job and a bunch of other reasons, so I didn't end up raising the max that much, but these sets of 4, 200, were moving pretty well. Again, pretty happy with how they look from the side. I'm pretty upright. Form breakdown's not too bad. So yeah, this is 160 for 5 on paused high bar squats. If you've been following along, you know I've been doing these pretty much every week, trying to linearly progress them. At the beginning of the last hypertrophy phase, that was like 7-ish weeks ago, I started at 125 for 5, and now we're at 160 for 5s, and they're still moving pretty well. I ended up skipping these a couple times, though, or for a couple weeks, just because of life happenings and work, and just tough to get all the training sessions in, and this is usually the one I end up cutting out if that happens. But hopefully going to get back into the swing of things. Here's 240 for 4s on pause deadlifts. I raised the estimated, or the training max to 300, which still honestly might be a little bit conservative. But these were moving pretty good, and also pretty happy with the lighting. I think the hypertrophy block is definitely paying off a little bit. If you notice, I'm wearing a different belt in these. I'm wearing a 3-inch belt that I just got from Best Belts, giving it a shot on deadlifts. I know some people like 3-inch belts better on deadlifts, just to help with positioning. And I liked it. I don't know if I like it more than the my Inzer lever belt, so I'll have to kind of experiment between the two and see how much I prefer one or the other. This is some high bar squatting. It was 175 for 5s. I think I did a 5x5 with this weight. In fact, I'm sure I did a 5x5 with this weight. Nothing impressive really compared to my low bar numbers, but it is a big step up from the high bar I've been doing the past few weeks. This is some of the buffalo bar benching I do. Before this, I did 3 sets of 4 with 140 with a 2-count pause, and then I do an AMRAP with a short pause. So this is the AMRAP. I got 9 reps on that. Last week on my AMRAP, I did 130 for 9, so 10 pounds more, same amount of reps. That's definitely some sort of progress. Just doing this for a little bit more range of motion, making movement a little more difficult. Hopefully, probably going to stick with this movement for this training block and the next training block, and then move back to competition benching with a straight bar as the main movement. Here's 195 for 5s on pause squats. These were super hard. These were from last night. I did these after work, which I started a new job as a waiter in a catering hall. So it's a pretty physical job, a lot of moving around, a lot of carrying things. But no excuses. These were just hard. These probably would have been hard if I did them before work too. But I managed to get through all the sets. I did an AMRAP with 185 after this, but I only got 5. So it definitely beat me up. And I started doing some safety squat bar squatting. This is like an incredibly awesome variation, I think. It feels so quad dominant, more quad dominant than front squats that I've been doing. Honestly, probably more quad dominant, at least it feels that way, than high bar squats. So yeah, it's super fun. I'm hoping I can push this movement pretty far in the coming weeks. And yeah, I'll try to stay a little bit more on top of these YouTube videos, but who knows. Um, I'm not going to put up the volume loads for every week that I missed. I haven't even been tracking them that carefully, but slowly on the rise, I think. So I'll catch you guys in the next video.